Hello and welcome back. In the previous lecture, we learned how to create a very basic script and we were able to make a structure as this. That's good, but this is not the enough because maybe think in a real problems, practical problems. You can see here I'm actually entering the computer name manually, like here, maybe in this case. Client 1 or maybe client 2, something like that, so which would actually leads to some kind of a confusion or some kind of a problem. So what we wanted to build is let's build a further level of the scripting that might help us. So before doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually as is taking the commenting this script as it is, so that I know I'm not going to modify my existing script level. So I'm just copy pasting so that whatever the script we developed, which is this now at this point of time. So what we can do is now either I can actually use one of the variables. If you can remember in the previous lectures we did talked about different variables. So I'm going to here give here as the variable for example, I can say that hey, it should be the machine name, or like example machine name equal, and so whatever the value, for example in hyd this is 01, but this should be another variable. So to store we need to give as a dollar. That's what we learned. So we gave here as the value that's the one of the value here. So I can now simply replace this here with this name. So what would happen is if I execute, and I'm just saving this, and if I execute this script, actually I need to give here the single quotes. Okay, now if I just execute here as it is, it says that it has executed automatically even though there is no machine name. So maybe you think that I can give here one more computer name like maybe in this case client 1 example. So what would happen is it's gonna execute on other machine also. So this is gonna run on other machine. So in my case I don't have the other machine, so it's not executing, but it's only getting the output of inhyd. So if I just replace this with the localhost, so it's gonna execute for the local machine, localhost also. So which is taking some time here, and it has failed. The reason for failing, definitely you can debug, and it says that WS management service is not running on the destination computer, which is in this case it's very clearly giving as a local host. So in my computer the service is not running WS management. Why this is required is I'm actually using get CIM instance, so this specific service to be static state. So I simply start this specific service and execute the script as it is. There's no changes, and this time it should actually run. So we got the output properly now, and we are able to get it what we wanted. Think about it, this is makes our life easy at this point of time. But what if you want to, if you can do it more than what you can do here? Let me explain here more. Let's first take the one of the value here. For example, I just take it out these, I just keep only one computer name for now, but I wanted parameter attribute to be used. So this is the parameter, means like what I can do is I need to use something called param, and then open the brackets. That means this value is not at end, I'm going to end at this point. So I can simply hit enter and close that. So this is the parameter specific one. So what would happen is if I just execute this, it executes normally. Like see, you can check out here, it executed normally. But the difference between when you use a param, actually you can input the computer name or whatever the value you are, or whatever the variable you are storing, that can be given as the input. So you no need to go inside the script and do the modification. For example, I did actually here hard coded the computer name. What if I don't want to modify, I don't want the output from the DC01, but I want output from the client machine. So what I'm going to do is here, I would actually call this specific script. In this case, let's go back to that specific script, like scripts, and this time demo. That's a demo script which we want to run. If I just execute, it's executing, but if I give as a space and hyphen, then immediately it is actually coming out a machine name. So this variable, whatever we have given, is coming out here. So you can actually give a machine name. For example, I can give here localhost. Now it's going to execute on the localhost, even though the script has been hard-coded to run on DC01 because it's a variable. So variable has been changed here to give the input. So what happened is, when we modify this, it is actually ready to accept the input. So it's so easy, and it's very important, and it's very handy if you're trying to run this kind of script. Once you find a structure of your script, you can execute by just replacing the computer names. So as the next step, what we can do is we'll try to build some kind of help within this script, so that if somebody else is using, he will know how to use the script. To do that, what I can do is I can actually say, since we are trying to play with the machine name here, I can say that, hey, this value must be it's a string, right, what we are trying to enter. So I can simply give here opening a value like a string. So that would actually makes me to write anything as a string. So what would happen is, if I just go back to the console and look for some kind of help, it actually gives me as the specific to, for example, let's actually try get hyphen help. We use the get hyphen help to get the help for different commandlets as of now, right? But this time what we can do is we can try to query for the script whether what kind of help we can get it from the script. So let's give the demo script in this case, and hit enter. It's gonna tell me, hey, this is a demo script, you should be using hyphen machine name, and this machine name must be a string. So it's telling us to use with this kind of methods or this kind of data type only should be used. That's how it's telling us. So it has built dynamically for us the help content completely. If you see here, there's a small error. I wouldn't say it's error because we've not fine-tuned the help properly. The reason is, earlier we tried with the multiple computer names by giving here in the value, like giving here as a local host and other things, which worked for us without any problem, right? So that means it can accept the multiple values. But if you look at here, the help which is showing us, it can just accept the only one value. That's what it means. So we want to give here as the multiple values to be accepting since this entire script. So we need to write or tell to help that, hey, this also can accept the multiple values. So what I'm going to do is, under string, I can say one more time this 2 brackets. So that would actually now executes to sorry, if I execute it works, but if I just give the help, it tells us, hey, this can accept actually the multiple values. But if you look at the previous one, it thinks that with this help, as I have already explained in the previous lectures also, anything in under string, if it is coming as a multiple or 2 times the bracket, that means it can accept the multiple values. So now the help says that here, hey, I can accept as a string with the multiple values. So it's not just the one. So you can give a comma separated value, for example, server name 1, server name 2, server name 3, and such a way you can give it. So this is an easy and dynamic way you can create the scripts, and this is very useful when you try to use this kind of param specific values. Let's execute one more time with a different way. But what if, why should I even hard code here the computer name? I don't want to hard code this computer name here because I wanted to tell my engineer who is executing this script just follow the help method. For example, here I can say that, hey, you should just go for the demo script and hyphen machine name and give here whatever the computer name. For example, I want to execute localhost, so you don't need to execute directly. So if somebody is executing this, it's actually directly, if I try to execute here, this is actually executing instead of because the value is coming because it's hard coded here, the values. I don't want that to be happen. Instead, I should tell to my users accidentally if they give also as this, so they should be thrown an help saying that, hey, you must have to use this kind of exam, so that they know they know what needs to be entered. So I'm gonna do the modification. So I definitely don't want this value, so I can take it out. Definitely equal after something should be coming up, so that's why it's saying as the error. So I'll just remove this equal. So this doesn't work because if I start giving this kind of value, it doesn't work. So I need to tell this has to be a mandatory, because this entire script is dependent on this machine name, which is dynamically we are entering when we are executing from the command or from the shell. So what I have to do is I have to write up here under param, not just a string. We also have to say that this parameter must be a mandatory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write here by opening a bracket. Within the brackets, it should be written as the parameter should be mandatory. So that's a mandatory equivalent, that must be true. So now what would happen is if I save this, it's gonna execute. Let's execute this with this. It says that, hey, it's not gonna work. You need to enter the machine name as mandatory. So if I give here as a local host, it's going to execute. And if you want the machine name, because if you see here, we did actually given as the multiple entries can be accepted, right? The comma separated. So that's why it's asking here another computer name also. If you don't have another computer, you can simply exit. Then that would actually gives the command. But if you're looking for the help, again, get -help for my demo script. So it will say that, hey, you have to give here the machine name in the format of string. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to give your demo script with the machine name as like inhyd-dc01, which is my domain controller. It's gonna come up now. So it's directly coming even though the machine name is not hard coded here. So this is very useful. The use cases of this kind of scripts would be once you finalize the script, once you convert it into parama, and then you can redistribute to your team, and they can use it by just replace with that variable name by entering manually. So here I gave only one example. What if you want to change a complete device ID instead of C colon, maybe a D drive or something like that, or instead of the free space, maybe occupied space, or the size of the disk. All that can be also hard coded as the variables, so that you can call here as the variable 1, variable 2. Such things can be easily you can write up. Now I'm gonna save this script to a different file name. The reason for that is I'm gonna modify a few other things. I just wanted to keep this entire script as it is, or I can simply take this as it is and save another way. So I can just go to the save as and save here. This is for the disk info. That's a name which I wanted to give here at this point of time, because this does the disk info specific. and I don't want this entire comment, so I'm just taking out all the comments. But if you remember, to put the comments, what we have done is we used this method. Right, if you just recall, this is what we have written. Now I'm going to build a specific help, because this is not the actual method, right? So for example, I can comment here, this is for what exactly? This is the main code. This is the code to get the disk info. That's how we are going to write in the production, maybe why this entire code is, we have written with a single comment or some kind of the comments, so that you know what is happening. Now I wanted to build more help dynamically from PowerShell. To do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type here synapse here, these are the information which is already available in one of the commandlet. If you just go to, let me show you here, maybe like I can just go for the help on about comment specific based help, that is the comment help. So this has a lot of information which talks about how to write the comment standards, so that it can help you later point. For example, if you look at here, the functions and strings, all these. For example, this is the snaps which you wanted to know, put as a first thing, as a first keyword, and then you can tell why you are putting this. So I can say that this is about my this is for my disk, this is for my computers, the disk info, and followed by you have the description here. You can check out the description to be written. These are the examples, so just I'm trying to get the description here. So the description can be your structure, what you wanted to get here. So in my case, after synapse, here the description is there, so I'll just copy paste the description and write up here the description. So this actually this can be useful for getting disk info, as or whatever the description you want to give, you can give that. And followed by, you can also check for the parameter specific comment, which is in this case the next one would be the parameter. So in this case, a parameter here, what we used is the machine name. So I need to give here as just for the computer name what we wanted to give, or just the machine name, what you wanted to tell about them as just the machine name. And also you can give here the example as the next step, what you can give here. So this is the example for how to use. For example, you can say that to connect this, what we can give is as the to connect to the remote computer to get the free space and the free space report. And the example for this script to be used is this way, right? The disk hyphen, because that's a script name now what we have here. Let's say if you want to know, if you want to give it a try, just to get that specific script to work, here you can check out from the C colon scripts, we have info hyphen, it's the, so you have here disk hyphen info. So this is the one, so I need to give here example. So I'll just exit with hyphen machine name. So this is example. So here I'm just giving as a local host. This is one of the example to get the output, right? So this example information I'm actually putting it here so that I know how to connect, so how to get the output. So this is one of the examples. So if I want to write one more example, I simply take the example 2, simply paste it here with another method. Maybe here you can give here as the tc something like that, or maybe to your inhyd hyphen this is your one, which is my another computer. So this is how you can give. So these are the information at least you should have in your when you're trying to use the synopsis. And why we are using this method, this keywords, all these is, if you can notice a one thing here, everything was in a structure with a dot. Some of the key things are commented as the dots, as specific. And what would happen is, when I actually go for help, I would be getting a proper help. Let me show you that. Get hyphen help, this time with my script called, in this case, disk specific one. So I'm gonna get examples at this time also. If you see here, I'm also getting here the examples. Like earlier, I never get the examples, right? You can check out here. This is how you're gonna use as a syntax. And whatever we have given, like the script name is this, the synopsis is this, syntax is this, and the description is this. It has dynamically built all the values, all the help which you can get it, including, if you see here, for the full text, you can go for the full or detailed help, and you can execute this to get the detailed help. So it's going to build an entire help also with the example 1, example 2, what we have given within this actually synopsis. So that's very useful. Let's actually give it a try whether this works or not by opening this PowerShell with those examples. So I can see that this is the example. So simply give this example. So it should work. It's working. And if I just give for the next one, which is talking about this with the another computer name, so just give this. So for the two computers also, I'm getting a proper output. So this looks good, and we were able to build a successfully one of the script. I hope this is very useful. And if this is for the first time you're trying to learn on a script, just maybe you may have to go through one more time, because this is a kind of lengthy one with a lot of values, a lot of information was shared within this video. I hope this is very useful for you. Thank you for watching this.